They tell you the road to success has no speed limit, but what they don't tell you is that that road is absolutely littered with speed bumps. And every single time you hit one of those speed bumps, it upgrades your vehicle. You start out your life as an entrepreneur in a beater car, and as you hit these speed bumps over and over again and you push through those obstacles, you upgrade your vehicle. If you keep going, pretty soon you're going to be flying over those speed bumps and not even notice them. It's like going from a beater car to a Ford Raptor. Pretty soon you don't even notice the speed bumps and you're accomplishing your goals. I'm doing this video because, as any entrepreneur will experience, there are days when you absolutely do not feel like doing anything related to work. Sometimes you honestly need a break, but there are other days where it's mostly a mental battle, and it's a huge thing for entrepreneurs and why so many people fail in the path to success as an entrepreneur. And since I teach video content creation and affiliate marketing, I think this video ties in very well to the message I'm trying to send to my subscribers. Today, I don't feel like doing anything at all. And so that's why I'm doing this video on this topic. There's a saying that I saw recently on another YouTuber's channel, and that is that the road to success has no speed limit. And that's been something I've been thinking about for quite a while because it's not 100% true. It's kind of a shallow statement, in my opinion, and I want to elaborate on that a little bit. It absolutely sounds amazing if the road had no speed limit, right? But there are constantly obstacles that are going to be in your way, whether it's dealing as a social media content creator and affiliate marketer, whether it's dealing with, having to record a video or upload the video or edit the video or title or thumbnail creation, all that kind of stuff. Those are all little tiny speed bumps, right? And those are things you're going to have to deal with. Plus you have the speed bumps of daily life, whether you're dealing with something in your family or work related or something along those lines. There are always speed bumps. And there's a saying that a friend of mine, we were sitting down having a beer recently, and I was telling him about some of the stuff going on in my life. And he gave me this quote, and I can't remember the author's name, but he's a very well-known author. And he said that he had survived 1,000 tragedies, but only 3 of them were real. And that's something that really stuck with me because so often, as somebody who's an entrepreneur, somebody getting started in affiliate marketing, you're going to experience a lot of mental angst at times. And a lot of the time, or the vast majority of the time, the stuff we're dealing with in our lives is more mental than it is actually real in the physical world. And so we tend to beat ourselves up and deal with things on a mental level, and that really tends to drive us into the ground. And those are speed bumps that we're having to overcome, whether you're just surviving as an average person, or especially if you're an entrepreneur, because if you don't push through those obstacles and keep going, that speed bump is going to hold you back from success. You have to push through and hit the next one and learn from each obstacle. Success, just like with anything else, is not a straight path. There are constantly going to be things that redirect the path you are going, or they might not completely redirect the path, but they change how you go about staying on the path. It's like hiking up a trail. You come across a fallen tree, you either go over it or you go around it, but you keep going on that hike because it's between you and the destination you want to get to. And like with an entrepreneur, like the statement I said earlier, when you start out, it's like you're in a beater car. There is so much that you have to learn, so many things that you have to work through in order to reach success. And it's like starting out in a beater car. And so every time you overcome that obstacle, you're learning something, you're changing something, you're doing something different, but you're still pushing toward the goal of reaching success, whatever you've defined as success for yourself in the endeavor you're fitting in. And this isn't just for entrepreneurs, this is for anybody in life. And this is a lesson I hope all of you guys really take to heart, because it's something I have to think about on a regular basis myself, especially as a content creator. Like I said, today I didn't want to create any kind of video content. I didn't want to do any kind of work. I want to go down to the river and just hang out and maybe take a nap, right? But when you have those moments, that's a test for you. And if you don't overcome that, it's like you're stopping your journey. And that is holding you back. You really hold yourself back from becoming successful when you let the mental turmoil dictate what you do with your time. Some of the things that a lot of people deal with are doubt, burnout, failure, financial strain, and rejection. Rejection is a huge one, especially when you start doing content creation. You're going to get haters, and there are going to be people on there just ripping on you for the most ridiculous things. And if you let that hold you back, that is really going to negatively affect you. It's like you hit a speed bump, you slow down. Most people stop. And that's why so many business adventures fail, because they stop the journey or they slow down permanently. They might continue, but they're going at a much slower rate. If you continue, it's like upgrading your vehicle. So you think about, you start out in a beater car. Pretty soon you upgrade to a better vehicle. Pretty soon you put a turbo in your vehicle or a supercharger in your vehicle. You upgrade the suspension, right? These are all things that happen in your life journey if you overcome the obstacle and you keep pushing forward. You don't slow down. You try to go faster. Eventually, you go from driving that beater car to driving something like a supercharged Ford Raptor R, right? Like, you don't even notice the speed bumps anymore. You're still dealing with them on a regular basis, but they become so mundane that they're hardly even noticeable to you because you've learned how to overcome those problems. And so when the next problem comes, you already have a pretty good idea of how to deal with it. And that's the life lesson, like I said, not just for entrepreneurs, but for anybody out there. I see so many people give up. You know, I made the analogy in one of my first videos on this channel about it's a true story from the gold miners here in Oregon, where I live, up by Cottage Grove in the Bohemian mines. It's a historically recorded incident where they were following this vein of gold along, and it just ended, and they dug around a bit and they couldn't find it, and they wound up selling the mine. And this is one of the biggest mines in Oregon history now. And the new mine owner brought in a geologist, and he said, "Oh yeah, you're on a fault line. You need to go that way about 3 feet." And sure enough, the new company who bought the mine started digging in that direction. And about 3 feet later, they hit the remainder of that gold vein, and they dug out one of the biggest deposits in Oregon's history in hard rock gold mining. So the same thing applies with so many things in life. When you get to that point where you feel like there's just no going on, sometimes you just have to stop and reevaluate things and put things into perspective. Is it really the end of the road? No. You might have to make a detour, but you're still going to go on that path, right? The determination to continue on that path, regardless of whatever you're dealing with, usually it's mostly mental, is what is going to define either success or failure. You're not a failure if you are rejected. You're a failure if you take that rejection personally and hold on to that and decide to quit doing whatever it is you got rejected on. That's failure. Success is when you take that opportunity for rejection and giving up and you ignore it and you continue going where you've decided to go. Most people think that when they hit a speed bump, it's a form of failure. And like I just said, it's not. It's an opportunity to learn and grow and fix the vehicle that you're in or yourself, mostly on a mental level. Every time you push through one of these obstacles, the version of yourself becomes better. It's like upgrading your vehicle. You become smarter, become more intelligent. You're able to move faster and deal with the same obstacle or similar obstacles in a much more efficient manner. So it's true that there is no speed limit, but there are many speed bumps. And you, in the path to success, have to overcome these, and you have to work on doing it quickly, working through them intelligently, ignoring what you should, and focusing on what you are going towards and continue on that path. Don't ignore the speed bumps, but use them as opportunities to learn and to grow, and don't slow down. When you hit that speed bump, you feel like you've absolutely failed and you can't go on, just keep pushing because success is on the other side of that obstacle. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this video. Make sure you hit like and subscribe and that little bell notification thing so you guys see when I post a video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.